So this is day 8 of watching every movie on IMDb's top 250 list. And today was Pulp Fiction. I think it's called Pulp Fiction. It's a tongue twister, that one. Pulp Fiction, okay. Very, very interesting movie. I don't genuinely, from movie 1 till movie 7 or movie 6, everything was just hardcore, just deep storytelling, just like very realistic things that you could feel in real life that you were watching from 1 through 6 or 7, I think, right? I think today's day 8, if I'm not mistaken, right? And like I said, each of those movies were very interesting in their own way, and just like I said, relates a lot to real life. Now, this movie was a bit different. I struggled to find why it's so high on the list. Now, is it a good movie? For me, I kind of did enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of did enjoy it, but I struggled to find what was the point, because at the beginning you have the guy and the lady, the couple. They were talking about how them robbing liquor stores is just not good enough, right? It's just not sustainable, and they risk or getting shot, or just like whenever they rob somebody, they're foreign, they don't understand what they say. It's just, you know what I mean, it's just not worth much. But when they rob a restaurant or a bank, they can make more, and they don't risk getting shot. That's their thinking of it, at least. And then from that point, they decide to start robbing the store. Then we cut, and then we go to the partners, the two. I think they're hitmen. They have to be hitmen. It's Vincent and Jules. That's their name. So they go and do a job to get a case for their boss that was doing business with some guy, and then he messed with the boss, I guess. And obviously now they have to go and get whatever they need to get back. We never saw what they needed to get back. It was just something in the case. It was shiny, and the reflection was gold. So I'm just gonna assume it was gold or something of that nature. And they had a man on the inside. They end up shooting pretty much everybody, actually, except funny enough, the guy that they had on the inside, they accidentally shot him in the face also. And then after they get the job finished, we skip that, and then we go to Butch, the boxer, and the boss of Jules and Vincent is talking to the boxer, and he's telling the boxer to get knocked out in the 5th round, because obviously he's gonna put money. I'm sweating, bro. He's gonna put money on the other boxer to knock Butch out in the 5th round, and then come to find out, Butch doesn't want to get knocked out, so Butch put money on himself to win in the 1st round, and then Butch ends up killing the boxer he's fighting against, like punched him so hard, killed him. And immediately after Butch knocked him out per se, he ran to his locker, got his stuff, and then jumped out the window, got in a taxi, and a taxi drove him home. And then the boss of Jules and Vincent is obviously angry. Now he's looking for Butch. Butch leaves his apartment, gets his girlfriend, and goes to a whole nother apartment far away. What else happens? And then this movie was mad weird, bro. I really don't understand how it's that high up on the list. Now let's just skip forward. Butch has an attachment to his watch that I think his grandpa had to go through a lot to get to him. If you watch the movie, you would know it's very weird. So he left the watch, or his girlfriend left the watch at the previous apartment. So he had to go back and get it, obviously, since he's running away from Jules and Vincent boss. Obviously, they're probably going to be watching the house, which they were. But he made it inside, and then come to find out, Vincent was inside taking a piss, and Vincent left his gun on the counter. And then funny enough, Butch thinks, nobody's here, and then he sees the gun on the counter, grabs it, and for whatever reason, the bathroom is in the kitchen. Okay, so Vincent opens the door, is surprised, and Butch puts like 4 or 5 in him and kills him. Butch is a bit surprised himself that he did what he did, but he grabs his stuff, leaves, and then as he's driving away, he runs into Vincent and Jules' boss, the guy he's running away from. Quite literally, you can't make this up. Runs into him, and then is surprised. So is the boss, and then Butch runs over the boss with the car, hits him, and then obviously, he loses consciousness. So does Butch. Actually, after Butch runs him over, Butch gets hit by another car across the street, and then, like I said, gets knocked out for a little bit, and then people start coming around, saying, "Are you okay?" This, that, and the third. And obviously the boss is angry, gets up, grabs his gun, and starts shooting at Butch. And then Butch and the boss, or Butch starts running, the boss chases him. And then they go into like this store, and then they fought for a little bit. And then Butch got the gun, is about to shoot the boss. And then the guy in the store pulls out his shotgun. And that's where it got weird for me. I don't understand why we ever needed to go that way. The store clerk calls his guy, who's a police officer, and then they bring Butch and the boss down in the basement, tie them up, and put like those, like the red, like, nah, I'm not even like, and then it got super weird. I'm not even gonna talk about it. It got weird, bro. Like, I don't even understand why that's even in the movie. It made no sense, because they didn't even like address it after it, whatever happened in there happened. They didn't even address it after. Like, it's just weird. Like, why was that even in? Why is this movie rated so high? And then skip forward, you got Jules and Vincent. So now we're going back to the first robbery, or the first job that Jules and Vincent were doing. The men on the inside forgot to tell them there was an extra guy in the bathroom, and the guy came out after the one dude got shot, came out of the bathroom with a revolver and started shooting at Vincent and Jules. And Vincent and Jules didn't move, and he missed every bullet in the gun. And obviously after that, Jules and Vincent shot him. And then at that point, Jules had an epiphany and decided it's time to quit, because God gave him a chance, pretty much. God let him go. And so that from that point on there, Jules and Vincent is trying to convince Jules to stay, because this is just a miracle, or this, that, and the third, just trying to convince him. And then now we come back full circle. Vincent and Jules end up at the restaurant that the two couples were robbing. And then they start robbing people. Obviously, they get to Jules. Vincent is in the bathroom. Jules is as calm as he can be with a gun to his face. And obviously, the guy, the boyfriend, is asking about the case. And then Jules shows him the case. And then Jules pulls a gun on the boyfriend and then tells him to put the gun down. Obviously, the girlfriend's going crazy. And then ends up giving them like this long speech. And then Vincent comes out the bathroom. He puts the gun to the girlfriend, and then they start having like this standoff kind of. And then Jules led the whole thing, and then let him go pretty much. They took everybody in the restaurant's wallet, and because Jules was in a state of calmness and change, so much state of calmness and change, he decides to let him go. And literally, the couple left with the wallets, and then Jules and Vincent walked out, and then the movie ended. I don't know what I just watched. I'm just explaining to you. I learned nothing from this. This is just a weird movie. Point blank, period. We move on to day 8. This is what it is, man. Or day 9. I messed up.